Good morning, everyone. Just want to let everyone know I did make a video yesterday going over SRAX, which is an oversold RSI swing trade bounce. RSI is coming out of oversold and is crossing the 30 line to the upside. MACD has had positive divergence from this low all the way to this low. So while the price is going this way, my MACD indicator is going that way, and you can see all the green bops. So that's why SRAX was an oversold swing trade yesterday, and RMP was an add signal based on the pocket pivot point signal. Another huge volume surge with BOP staying max green as the stock sets up, breaking out to a near new 52-week high. And I think all-time high, yes, all-time high, but beautiful longer-term pattern. Short-term, a lot of accumulation over the past 3 days, tons of volume. Now, you did not see that video, and actually I'll go ahead and post it after this video because my desktop and laptop both did a Windows update yesterday, and for the first time ever in my life, I had a Windows update completely fail. My laptop Windows update just failed. I got the dreaded srt.txt bad file feedback from my computer, and it just wouldn't fix, so I had to do a hard reset. We're good to go again, so here we are with another video lesson, but I'm tired, so if I sound really bad, I apologize. JBT is the first new long signal. This is a Cancelim quality stock, a perfect speculator quality stock, and it was in my max green bop for 5 days scan. I'm going long with the limit order at 90.15. My stops will be at 87.62. 86.25 and 85.62. So one stop here, one stop here, one stop there. Since it's a larger position, I'm going to trail my stops a little bit more just because I don't want to see that dollar loss column grow in case I'm wrong. But JBT looks coiled for a breakout to new all-time high, similar to RMP. Heavy volume accumulation, the max green bop. Heavy accumulation off the 50-day moving average and holding support since that gap up here at the end of February. So I definitely like this one. Then the next one for the next largest size is Zebra. You can see once again the longer term chart pattern of Zebra bouncing near that 50-day moving average. Pocket pivot point signal off the 10-day moving average. An uptick of volume above average volume. And BOP's growing, and it's almost green because it was in my tertiary scan today, confirming the signal from my Cancelim scan because Zebra's a Cancelim stock, and perfect speculator scan because it's also a perfect speculator stock just like JBT. So JBT and Zebra are both Cancelim and perfect speculator. But now Zebra is a little extended short term. If you look, you can see that the real body is above the 5, 10, and 20-day moving average. That means it's extended. So I'm not going long with 91.43, and hopefully it doesn't do a CYD and disappoint me by me not using a 90.89 limit. I'm going to be using 89.97, 1 penny above the high of 313. My first stop is right here on Zebra, 87.91. My final stop is right here, 86.46. Now CYD, recently I tried to do that. Remember, CYD was a little extended. Instead of going along at 14.98 or 14.92, I tried to get it right above the pivot, which I believe was 14.72, yes. The stock, if I would have used 14.92, would have filled. If I would have used 14.98, would have filled. But I decided to be cute, and CYD is now up 20% plus without me. So it's up to you, but for me, I'm going to go ahead and be disciplined. I hate chasing, so Zebra, 89.97 is my limit. 4% of my account capital. JBT, 5% of my account capital. Then we have CTRL. CTRL is very interesting because this one came in my 20 days green bop scan. So you can see it's had green bop for the past 20 sessions. It was up on the day, so it made that scan. It came on my radar. I flagged it because I liked it, like this longer term pattern, like looking at it up close, post the gap up, the nice trading, the bounce right here at support that's right near these support levels, the tick up in volume, the quiet volume on the pullback. But what was more interesting is whenever I went to look at it, it's a very high quality, high growth Cancelim stock. I was not expecting that, but big EPS, big sales growth, high IBD ratings. I don't have them in front of me right now or on my desktop. I only have StockTwits, Yahoo Mail, and Twitter open, so that's no good. So there's nothing I can do there to look up Investors Business Daily anytime quickly because that site loads so slow. But CTRL, limit order, 1512. First stop, 1439. I'm going to give this one a lot of room. Second stop, 1395. Final stop, 1325. I want to give it a lot of room because, like I said, the fundamentals and the growth is fantastic. Along with this nice chart, it's great, but it's early. Once again, it's not all lined up. The 5 is below the 10 is below the 20, so it's just not lined up. There could be much more backing and filling. I don't mind if I lose a little bit to get a better signal later on, but I just want to give it some room in this strong tape because, once again, I really like this stock. I really like the chart pattern, but it's extended, it's early, the base isn't long enough, it's not symmetrical, and BOP should be max green. Maybe this move should have been max green right here, so it's not perfect, but it's a start. But control, 2% cancel him, 1% for being in that BOP scan, 3% total position. And then the final long signal this evening that's of quality, WDC, bouncing right off the 50-day moving average on a heavier volume than the session before. It's not the best looking signal overall, but I love the longer term uptrend. As you can see, the uptrend has been steady, but it's been a little rough. And then all of a sudden, after this gap up in December, it kind of started to trend nice and quietly. Then it gapped up again and then trended down nice and quietly. And now it's consolidating, bouncing right off this 50-day moving average on that slight uptick in volume, like I said. So I want to go long. Limit order 76.95. My first cut loss is right here at 74.47. Then you can use 73.07, and then you can use 72.75. You know what? It'd be smart just to use all three because I can't tell which one I want to use. I don't know I know that no matter what, I want to ultimately use this one, but do I want to use this level or this level? I don't know. So that right there, since I don't know, I got to use all three. 74.47, 73.07, 72.75, using them all. Then I have two spec long positions, LLEX. Max green BOP for the last 4 sessions. Very heavy volume the last 4 sessions thanks to it being uplisted from the OTCBB to the NASDAQ. Nice move through the 50-day moving average. Like I said, strong volume, max green BOP. And I overall like this pattern going back to August. And you can see it's super thin, super choppy, and then after August it starts to bounce up, starts to get some real accumulation, gets a lot of max green and green BOP. Now that it's uplisted to the NASDAQ, there's more reason for people to buy. I see it's gapping down after hours based on one trade to 390. That's not enough trading to convince me not to go long the stock, so I don't think it's going to gap down there. But let's say it keeps trading down there at 390. Yeah, sure, I'll still go long, and then the first cut loss will be the 50-day moving average, and the final cut loss will be 341. But if that's just a bad after-hours trade, I'll be going long with the limit at 450. First cut loss is 412 right here. Final cut loss is 341. And then finally, an oversold RSI to a momentum RSI swing trade, ADAP, following this gap up after the strong accumulation leading into the gap up, has pulled back, has those tails basically down here, the shadows, the wicks, whatever you want to call them, close in the upper range, close slightly lower than, actually, I am so crazy. That's the high. So it actually closed higher than where it opened. That's so funny. I've been looking the whole time. That shows you how tired I am from the night before, thinking 485 was the open, but 474 is the open, 475 is the close, so that's perfect. Higher close than open. Great. Perfect. So ADAP going long, 475. My first cut loss on ADAP is 447, today's low day. And then my final cut loss, it looks like it's 413, a move below 413. My first profit target goal is right here, 574, then 836, and maybe ultimately up here to 1159. And then if all hell goes completely right, 1285. But we'll cross that bridge once we get to this one. This would probably be about as good as it goes, 836. So we'll see what happens. But a lot of trade ideas. Take what you like. Don't take any of them. I really like all these trades. I'm taking them all. I have about 20% cash after going long all these stocks. And hopefully if I can have some other limits hit, which they probably won't, be about right around 10% cash. So still heavily invested. Everything's working. nothing to complain about. I'll see you here tomorrow.